Hi, this is Miss Rosbeauty, and I'm basically making this vid to pay my respects to a family undergoing something very tragic. A 14-year-old boy by the name of C.J. Jones is accused of murdering his family and taking his own life. I'm posting this video because there are many things that I find that is off with the police investigations to this tragedy. Just something is just off with this. Okay. Police investigators say that the 14-year-old CJ cut his 10-year-old sister's throat, his 7-year-old sister's throat, and possibly his 2-year-old brother's throat. It's not, as of yet, it hasn't been displayed how the mother died, whether her throat was cut or whatever, so that's still a question mark there. But his siblings were found in the living room with their mother. A fire was set in the apartment that they lived in a way where no one can escape, or rather, I guess, to make it and kind of made it difficult for rescuers to rescue them, I guess. This seems a little odd to me, but CJ was found separately in a back bedroom with his throat cut, and it states that he was supposed to have used a straight razor, a razor from one of his mother's hairstyling kits or something like that. I'm sorry, but I just, this is just off to me. I'm not saying that people do not commit suicides or murder their families. We know in society many notorious things take place, but this scenario, there's something that is off with it for me. Okay. They also state that this CJ was the one responsible for creating the fire. First of all, I pay my respects to the family, and may they rest in peace. This whole thing is just it is so tragic, and I'm so sorry for them and the family that they left behind, you know. I send out love and strength to them, and hopefully that you know, they will somehow find the strength to deal with this difficult time. But many things are just off to me. Usually, when I hear something about someone cutting their own throats or anything that has to do with the neck, it kind of draws my suspicions, because when people commit suicides, they want something quick, they tend to want something fast, right? And usually something that is not so painful because they're already suffering if they're in that state where they're trying to, they want to commit suicide. So when it comes to, when I hear stories of others stories of others where the neck is involved, where they're cutting their own neck or something like that, where they're cutting their throat, it's off to me. That sounds extremely suspicious, because that is not a form that someone who is going to commit suicide will take normally. Just like no one who is going to do suicide is going to decapitate themselves purposely. That's something that is extremely rare. Cutting your own throat. Yes, we have situations where people will put a gun in their mouth and pull a trigger. Now, this sounds extremely painful to someone who doesn't understand the mind frame of something like that, right? When it comes to suicide. Even though there are those who use a gun and do commit suicide that way, it's still, even though painful to us who think of such a thing, it is still a quick method. Cutting one's throat. That is very rare. That is usually done by someone else. Someone else usually does neck crimes like that. Many people do not do neck crimes to themselves. I find something extremely off with this scenario that is being given. Hopefully, more investigation will be done. Like looking at who the mother was dealing with. Was she dealing with someone? I mean, someone, it's just very rare that you find that occurrence with someone cutting their own throat, especially with a razor or whatever. And that little straight razor, that's not a quick method. And I'm not some sort of psychologist or paid professional or whatever, but I am someone who has survived suicide, so to speak. I did try and commit suicide on myself when I was younger. So I think I can relate to certain suicide situations. And I think I think that I can relate more to it than maybe a psychologist or someone else or whatever who has not been in that situation or that frame of mind at all, in their lives. Like I said, honestly, when it comes to the throat area, people do not commit suicide by trying to decapitate themselves, and they definitely, if there's something seriously wrong with the scenario of cutting one's own throat, that is usually done by someone else. This scenario is very odd. Now, foul play sounds like it. This sounds like foul play to me, for whatever reason, okay? It really does. But what is y'all's opinion? What do you think? Did this young man do this? Or did someone else do this? Let me know what you think.